In our last thought for the week, we talked about the greatest challenge facing the church in our day. And I suggested that it was actually getting the congregation to share their faith with those outside the church. I said that it wasn't going to be down to the professionals. They couldn't actually do what needed to be done if we're going to actually share the good news of Jesus Christ with those around us. And too often we've relied upon the experts, we've relied upon the professionals to do the work for us. The interesting thing was, I had a great few comments from people about that particular thought for the week. And one lady said, how do we help in practical ways people to do just that, to share their faith, when they're busy and when in their work environment, often they weren't allowed to speak about things related to faith and personal matters. And you know, I've thought about that ever since, and it reminded me of something that we did in my last church. Do you know, we were grappling with the same subject and asking ourselves the same question. And one of the things that we realised was that you can be forbidden from talking about Christianity in your place of work, but the one thing that they can't forbid you from doing is being kind. That there's a fundamental thing about being overwhelmingly kind and considerate to others that will always get over the hurdles and provide opportunity. And so what we started doing was encouraging our congregation to do deliberate acts of kindness, to be overwhelmingly kind and considerate towards their colleagues around them, particularly when they discovered that they were having struggles at home, that life was tough, that they were finding pressure at work all too much for them. And to be that person who was the listening ear, the shoulder to cry on, the person who helped them out, gave them support, gave them encouragement, and went the second mile. The interesting thing was, we found a verse in Proverbs that says, I think it's Proverbs 8 verse 16, where it says, a free gift opens the way for the giver and ushers him into the presence of the great. So we did that. We encouraged people to go out and look for opportunity to meet need, to provide support, to encourage and inspire and be overwhelmingly positive when everybody else seemed to be struggling. And the thing that's interesting about that is that if you do it right, then people will ask the key question, which is, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you being different to everybody else I know in your response to me and the way you value and appreciate me as a person? And you know, it's interesting, isn't it, that the moment the person asks why, you're not forcing anything down people's throat. You're not proselytizing. You're not forcing them to hear something that they are not interested in. So we went on and we encouraged the congregation to be a little cryptic and keep it concise in terms of what they chose to say. You see, it's not down to us to convert people. It's not down to us to say everything that needs to be said in just a few moments of conversation, but to model the message that we believe in. And so I encouraged them to say, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. It was a sort of woman of Samaria response. You know, Jesus comes and he cryptically asks questions and looks to meet her underlying need. And so the thought this week is simply that. What could you do that will elicit the question, why? Can you show love in such a way that people want an explanation? Because the truth is, we can do that anywhere. We can do it in a coffee shop, we can do it in our politeness in our car, as we're driving down the road, we can do it with our families and our friends and our neighbours and our colleagues, because nobody is going to prohibit kindness in the context in which they're said. Hope you found this helpful. If you have, then give us that thumbs up and press the like button. It really helps and affirms us in what we're seeking to do. If you think others might find it helpful, then why not share it with them? And why not follow us? We produce videos like this all the time.